So I wish I was bringing you more positive news, but yes, the OnePlus that you knew is dead. The company is going to be ceasing operations in global markets very, very soon, and the one-time market disruptor is done. It's over. But let's get into it in this video. If you want more exclusive news, views, overviews, and reviews, then hit subscribe to join the team. I'd love to have you as part of our growing community of Android enthusiasts. Cheers. So over the past few months, there has been a real dark cloud hanging over OnePlus, and early rumours hinted that the things were in a really bad place, but now we can officially break the news that yes, OnePlus is exiting global markets as soon as April 2026. So after 13 years of phones, starting out as part of BBK Electronics, the company has had numerous ups and downs, but the recently released OnePlus 15 is the final piece of the puzzle for a company that helped effectively disrupt the Android space and create the mid-range to high-end phone at a super low price. But as of the end of March or beginning of April, that is it for OnePlus devices in the US, the EU, and the UK, basically anywhere outside of China. So selected staff were told ahead of time that this decision had been made. Some even received severance packages ahead of this shutdown, but we don't know yet if everyone was told about this and to what extent they were informed. Compounding this, in recent hours, India CEO Robin Liu has been confirmed to have left the brand and returned to China, fueling yet more rumours online of OnePlus shutting down operations. This isn't even the first time that OnePlus has backed off or reduced its presence in European markets before. Specifically, back in 2020, OnePlus actually shuttered or severely reduced major components of the firm's European operations, jettisoning staff in the UK, Germany, and other European offices in the post-Nord launch period following the exit of Carl Pei. He's now off disrupting with his own brand, Nothing, so at least in some ways the OnePlus torch is being carried on somewhere else for what it's worth. Since then though, OnePlus has built closer ties with its parent company OPPO, with former OnePlus head Pete Lau moving into a chief product officer role over there, if you didn't already know, and has been widely publicised online. Details though are scant on why this decision has been made, but it is believed that OPPO is taking a greater focus internally. This has also been apparently one of the driving forces behind certain partnership shifts, such as the Hasselblad camera partnership that actually ended with the recent OnePlus 15 release, but continues to be a component on flagship OPPO smartphones. It's also in some ways not hard to see how current market conditions could affect this decision making. Brands in China are expected to be some of the hardest hit by the ongoing memory and storage shortages and rapidly inflating costs. And all companies across all areas of technology are looking to trim their excess, so that could be a reason for this decision. Various OnePlus product launches are still in the pipeline if you weren't aware, and many are now unlikely to be made available outside of China unless specifically stated or commitments have been made already. Just how this affects support for existing hardware and any previously set software update commitments is genuinely unclear. Given that OnePlus and OPPO phones use almost identical software builds of Oxygen OS and Color OS respectively, that might be less of an issue. But will the company keep some of the community forums as well that have been heavily utilised by the brand to help build the brand into what it is today? Will that be shuttered or quickly kept on live support? We simply do not know at this stage, but it would be a great shame to lose that repository and information resource for OnePlus fans. According to previous hints though, China isn't going to be affected by this. This is just for global markets. And given that OnePlus has struggled to gain a foothold in lots of countries across the globe, it probably shouldn't come as that much of a shock, but maybe there will still be options for hardcore fans to import devices like services like Clove and the like use this option and allow you to use global ROMs to use future OnePlus flagship products outside the region. I'm kind of hoping that might be possible, as it is a great way to get hold of this hardware in regions where they may not be necessarily officially available. That said, we simply don't know at this stage. I think what makes this sting even further is that the company has just come off the back of what I consider a really strong 18 to 24 months. The OnePlus 13 was easily the best phone that the company has ever made, in my opinion. One of the best phones of 2025, arguably the best. Yes, the OnePlus 15 wasn't quite the follow-up that we wanted or we hoped for, but it's still a competent device in its own right. We've seen excellent wearables from the company over the past 24 months. The OnePlus Watch 3 was a super strong product in its own right, and the OnePlus Buds Pro 3 are easily my favourite earbuds from any brand. And I even bought another pair. I actually love them so much, I like to have a pair on hand and in my vicinity at all times. Oxygen OS is a great piece of software. It's kept evolving, and at least until recent UI changes added a little bit too much iOS, it was a superb take on Android that is stuffed to the brim with functionality that power users and even casuals will love and enjoy. A bigger problem facing Android in general is that we do not have many brands available in all regions that can go toe-to-toe with Samsung, and OnePlus was one of the few that could at least get close, and in some rare cases, like the case of the OnePlus 13, surpass the Korean tech giant. It could simply be that sales figures were not good enough to warrant such a vast expansion or support network across the globe. OnePlus devices have historically been popular in areas like India and Asia, but more often than not remained a bit more of an enthusiast option in North America and Europe specifically. It's hard to get OnePlus phones from carriers, and many carrier partnerships have ended or dwindled in recent years. That could be due to lackluster or poor sales. That said, it isn't exactly clear, it's just purely speculation on my part, given that tiny global market share. It's also worth noting that this isn't without precedent. Realme recently moved under the OPPO umbrella as a sub-brand, which kind of could signal the fate of OnePlus as a budget entity within a larger, more established player. OnePlus has been a sub-brand of OPPO, more or less behind closed doors since 2021, and the teams work closer together, but it's possible things could change further following the shutdown of some of its global operations. Maybe we'll see devices from OPPO with a OnePlus logo in an official capacity over the next few years. Keeping everything under one unified umbrella could result in better products and experiences, but yeah, the jury's out on that one. For what it's worth on the software front though, after a previous report suggested something similar with regards to Shutdown, OnePlus reiterated that there would be a full guarantee of users after sales support, software updates, and rights commitments. So at least there is potentially some good news there. We also reached out to OnePlus ahead of this story going live, but the company simply pointed us to a statement on the exit of OnePlus India head Robin Liu. The thing is, this is just a really sad day for OnePlus. It's a really sad day for Android, and a sad day for North American Android fans in particular, as you have one less option in a sea of few options. But this throws up lots more questions than it probably answers. Is OPPO going to move into more areas to capitalize on this loss? Given that OPPO themselves have struggled to get any sort of a foothold in many global markets, that might also be a tough sell. The company left European markets briefly due to some patent disputes with Nokia, and then returned again in 2024. Can OPPO now offer a home for future OnePlus XRs both internally and externally? Those details really do need to be ironed out very, very soon. Let me know what you think of this decision down in the comment sections below. Was this inevitable? I'm actually still processing the information, and should we hear more, we will be the first to let you know on the channel. Pour one out though from one of the OGs of Android. I know I will be doing that tonight. Cheers for watching, and I'll speak to you later.